Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Ovatyme Sports Show. We are on episode 100. That is right. We have reached 100 podcast episodes. I know that we've done a lot more because we've been doing these shows on Facebook for a hot minute. But the first episode that we ever did on Anchor, which is where we sponsor our podcast, we did that on August 11th, 2018. 2 years, man. 2 years. 2 years. Since that, we've grown, we've expanded, we've done a ton of different things, not only just in sports, but we've done it in entertainment. We've done it in music. We've been leveraging the podcast in order to be able to launch other projects that we've been able to get our hands on. Overall, over the last 2 years, it has been a beautiful ride, but we have reached 100 episodes. So first and foremost, to our loyal, faithful watchers and listeners, you got to give yourselves a round of applause. I am proud to be able to come here, proud to be able to do this show through all the trials, through all the tribulations, hell, through 2020 as a whole. It has been a hell of a ride, but guess what? Like Puff Daddy said, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We cannot be stopped. Why? Because it's Synful Blaq for life. So before that we get this show started, since this is episode 100, we got to pour ourselves a little drink. Let's do it first. Get your cup, get your thing, absolute peach. Pour it up, watch it all fall out. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, floor. All right. Get yourself a little jug of the mango lemonade. Pour a little cup for this one. There we go. Perfect. All right. Salud. Listen, we have talked about everything under the sun. We have had off the rails episodes. We have had a bunch of different things go on over the past couple of years. The biggest and best thing that has gone on, of course, is the NFL preview shows that we do every year. We did it for the fourth year in a row, third year on the podcast. That went over well. Audience is good. Audience exploded on that one. If you're following on Facebook, we have the NFL highlights, which are always on point, always doing their thing. We had NBA highlights, but we had those up until recently. Tonight's highlights will be on there because apparently TNT bitches about the halftime music, and I got to get the ding off of there, so I had to get that off. So it's fine. No big deal. Don't even sweat it. It'll be taken care of. But we got to talk about these playoffs, man. We got to talk about where we're at right now. Last time we talked last week, the Houston Rockets were on the verge of getting eliminated. That happened. That's done. As you can see, it's Game 7 of Denver versus the Clippers on the TV right there. That's going down. The game's pretty close. We don't know what the heck is going on there. We had Game 1, Boston versus Miami, and I told y'all that this was going to be a hell of a game. Game went into overtime. Miami pulls out the win. Last minute block, Bam Bam Adebayo with a SWAT season. Jason Tatum thought he had it. NFL, baby, not for long. It was a beautiful thing. You had to have been there to watch it. My mind was shook. I'm just like, watching that block, I was like, holy shizzle. But that's not all. Of course, as you know, that Boston won, so that means Toronto got eliminated. That means the new champs are out of the playoff. I mean, the last year's champs are out of the playoffs. Excuse me. My bad. Nick Nurse signed himself an extension. But now we get to the bigger news of Mike D'Antoni, the mastermind of this offense that was in Houston, the 8-second offense, decides that he's not going to sign his extension and that he is now a free agent coach in the NBA. I honestly don't know how to feel about it. He transformed that team. He transformed that whole team into something more efficient to make it work. And all of a sudden, now he's a free agent. So now the Rockets have no team, no assets. And, excuse me, and they don't have talent. They have no big men. They have no small men. Well, I'm sorry. They have big men. They have no big men. They have nothing but small men. So now the Rockets are in a conundrum. What are they going to do in this offseason? There's not much cap space. They're paying Russell Westbrook and James Harden. There's no cap space to make some moves. And the moves need to be made. And there's people on key teams, i.e. Giannis, who are unhappy with their situation. I told y'all that the coach of Milwaukee wasn't ready to do what he was supposed to do. And y'all was like, no, Jan, he's ready. He's ready to do it. And you see where that got to. You see where that Milwaukee's out of it. The number one team in the NBA is not even playing in the finals. Philadelphia, a total failure. We're talking about now is Boston and Miami. That series is definitely going to 7 games. I toss my hands up at that one. But Jimmy Butler is looking like the GOAT right now. Playoff MVP right now, it has to be Jimmy Buckets by a mile. There's nobody outperforming this dude. There's nobody that's been as clutch, point blank, period. And this is still a debate. We don't know how this is going to end up. Could you imagine right now? What's the score? Hold on. I'm gonna throw on my glasses. Give me a second. I gotta look at the TV screen. We are talking. It's on the commercial. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to get the thing. Give me a second. So I went back to commercial again, but I think Denver is only down by like 6-8 points right now, and we're barely in the second quarter, or maybe halfway into the second quarter. I have no idea. We are in the end game, folks. We are in the end game. We're at a point where we could be talking Denver and the Lakers. That's literally a thing that we could be talking about within the next half hour, 45 minutes. I need to get this podcast out because I'm trying to record this one before we record the NFL show and bundle it all together for the big ass, 100 episode that's going to be dropping to you on the podcast. So by the time you really hear this on the podcast, you'll be like, okay, Jay, I understand where you're coming from. But there's a legitimate chance that there is not going to be a LA versus LA matchup. Can you imagine that? All this buildup, all this hype, all this rigmarole running around talking about it's going to be LA versus LA in the final, in the conference finals. And this whole conference finals is built around LA versus LA. And could you imagine that the other LA, the Clippers, don't fulfill their end of the bargain? Could you imagine what happens after Kawhi talking all that mess, talking about this is his city now? Could you imagine how that goes? Then he had a whole commercial with New Balance. A whole ass commercial. Could you imagine what would happen if this isn't his city no more? Could you imagine all the ish talking that's going to go on if Denver beats the Clippers tonight? Insane. I'm going to be talking big-ish. And I'm going to be talking ish, and it's sad because I thought it was going to be LA versus LA in the finals. The conference finals anyway. But shit, I feel bad for any team that has to play Miami. That's where we're at. I feel hella bad for any team that has to play Miami right now. These dudes is too good. And Boston's finding that out real quickly. Jimmy Buckets is that dude. Tyler Herro not getting the respect, not being put on all NBA defensive team. These dudes are playing with chips on their shoulders. Everybody was counting out Miami. I told y'all back during the Kobe's, when Kobe passed away, God rest his soul. I told y'all back then, I said Miami is looking like the most dangerous team in basketball. Don't nobody want to play Miami because Miami's beating everyone. At that period of time, Miami beat everyone at least once. Nobody wants it with MIA. Not a damn soul. And now, this is the exact situation which can come to fruition. You could have a Miami, LA NBA Finals. Could you imagine LeBron playing his old team and the ghost of Spoelstra looming in the horizon? Pat Riley knows LeBron in and out. Eric Spoelstra knows LeBron in and out. Knows exactly what to do against him, and that all-defensive team that Miami has is going to put it on him. Going to put it on AD. He's going to make Rajon Rondo try and win games, and you already know that that's going to go. What's good, my dude, Lawrence? What is good? You already know how, you already know Spoelstra's just itching. If we play LeBron, I'm going to bust his ass. That's exactly what Spoelstra's thinking. He's like, I'm not trying to think ahead, but if I got to play LeBron in these finals, I'm going to bust his ass. I'm going to bust his mother. I can't wait. I think a Miami LA finals would probably be best. Now, you could probably get LA, Boston, which, listen, if it's LA, Boston, as good as Boston is, well, let me phrase this, as deep as Boston is, LA can drop, LeBron can drop 40, your mans can drop 40, AD can drop 40. They both do triple doubles and have just the rest of the team score 30 points total, and then that's the game. And LA wins it in 5 or 6. And that, I know I'm discounting Boston so bad after I hyped them up for y'all. Well, I'm going to hit you with that Wade Barrett. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Because you see, sometimes two superstars will outweigh any kind of squad you got. We've seen it. We see Miami do it. I don't think Boston's going, bro. My man Larry on the thing said Boston's going. Listen, Boston has problems. The Boston got exposed tonight. Hate to break it to you, Boston got exposed tonight, and that, even though that game went to overtime, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, it was close." Listen, Boston had no answer for Tyler Herro and Jimmy Buckets, and until they do, they're not. The Heat are looking like the kings of the East right now. The Heat had an answer for everything. They had an answer for Giannis. They had an answer for Oladipo and TJ Bubble Warren. Nobody has an answer for Miami. Nobody has an answer for Jimmy Buckets. Nobody has an answer for Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson on the 3-point, Bam Bam Adebayo. Nobody has an answer. Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. What's the answer to that? What is the answer? No, nobody have an answer. They don't. I'm sorry. They just don't. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. I kept telling y'all about Miami from the jump. Oh no, I'm not calling Boston completely out. I completely agree that this series is going to go to 7 games. But what I think you're failing to realize, my good sir, is that Jimmy Buckets is that damn good. He was that good in Chicago with Derrick Rose, because remember when him and Derrick Rose, when they were young, they were killing it. He was that good. He basically made Philadelphia a championship team when he was there for the 1 year that he was there. Hell, he crushed and carried Minnesota to the playoffs 2 years ago. Jimmy's on one. Jimmy looking like the MVP. And Jimmy was like, I'm not even bringing my family in here. I'm trying to win a championship. You already know. This dude's already been laser focused. This has been the one perfect opportunity that he to take advantage and win a championship because they're so defensively good. And they had 4 months of rest. Boston is good. Boston is great. If everybody's been listening to me, I've said that Boston is the best whole team in basketball right now. Oh no! Hey, hold on, wait, whoa! Boston wouldn't be an upset. Boston's the number 3 team in the league. It wouldn't be an upset if Boston beats Miami. It's not an upset. If Boston better beat Miami, that's the expectation. But the reality is that Miami's way too deep as far as talent, as far as defensive skill. It's going to go to 7. And I tell you, my hands are up. I'm not even touching this one. But if you force me to pick it until Boston shows me that they have an answer for Miami, I have to take Miami. This may come up in 2 games. Who knows? Because remember, Boston went up 2-0 against Toronto, and Toronto came back and won 2 straight. And that thing went to 7. You never know how this goes nowadays. But we're sitting here talking about Boston. Let's talk about the Lake Show. Let's talk about the LA Lakers. Let's talk about LeBreezy Jeezy. Let's talk about ADZ. And more importantly, forget those 2 dudes. Let's talk about my main man, the Italian stallion, Anthony Caruso. That man is a bad mama jamma. The Italian stallion. That's right. I'm going to dub him. Anthony Caruso, the Italian stallion. That's what we're going to call him. The last 2 games against Houston, Anthony Caruso showed the hell out. That dude is taking it to another level. I may be crazy. But listen, whoever the Lakers have to play, whether it's the Clippers or Denver, whoever team decides to show their ass up in about 2-3 days, everybody's worried about LeBron. Everybody's worried about AD. Let me tell you something. When Caruso starts in the game, or when he's the first man off the bench, the Lakers have a better plus minus than anybody in the league with that man. When he plays 15 or 20 minutes, I think there's a plus minus. It's real good. You got to go look up the stats. Look up the advanced stats. Somebody told me that. I need a verification on that. But as far as the playoffs are concerned, maybe they're referring to the playoffs. But when Anthony Caruso, the Italian stallion, is in the game, the Lakers are a much better team than anybody in the league by a mile in the playoffs. Somebody fact check that. The Lakers may. When you got everybody said that AD can carry a team to a championship if he had enough key pieces. Everybody said LeBron can carry a team to a championship when they have enough pieces. But when you have both of them mofos on the same team, they could be carrying the who was the worst team in the NBA that wasn't they could have been on the Timberwolves and carried the Timberwolves to an NBA championship if they really had to. So I don't know. But I'm really hyped about these playoffs. I need to see what's going on with this game right here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Let me tell you why I'm mad. I'm mad. I came into this thing mad, though. Real talk. I am upset. A week and a half ago, I was hyped. I was HYPED hyped about BGK every day, all day. We went up 1-0 against Dallas. We were looking good. Yeah, I'm talking about hockey right now. We were looking good. I was excited, and I just couldn't hide it. I was about to lose control, and I think I like it. And then we lost 4 straight to Dallas. Oh, my fucking God. Oh no, tomorrow. See, tomorrow's show, my good man, I'm gonna get all on your Cowboys. We got a 2-hour epic show coming on tomorrow, so I hope you got your popcorn ready. That's gonna be a deep one. Yo Cowboys. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm only giving you a pass because Jalen Ramsey made your guys' life hell, and y'all got cheated at the end of the game. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I fully admit yesterday that the Dallas Cowboys got robbed of a W last night. I'll fully admit it. But I'm going to just the one and only time we're going to let that slide. Because there ain't no more chances. The Cowboys got robbed last night, and we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Get my drink on. So, Major League Baseball, of course, as you know, they launched their schedule. Check it out, MLB.com. Really tight, really condensed. I don't know how the hell they're going to pull it off, to be dead honest. But you know who's looking like a squad? Right there. Wait, what did I do? I'm telling you the truth. The Cowboys got robbed last night. They did. Everybody is in agreement. I'm going to put you through a little help. You only get one pass. One pass, Larry. Larry says, why do them like that? I'm giving him a pass. I don't give anybody a pass in football. And I'm giving him a pass. I'm giving the Cowboys a hall pass. They get a little bit of slack. Just a little slack this time. They got robbed. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Don't worry about that, Larry. I got you. I'm going to have your back tomorrow on the show. I promise. I will have your back 100%. The Cowboys got absolutely robbed yesterday. Don't even stress it. I got you, dog. I got you. So listen, I don't know how the hell they're going to pull off MLB. That schedule looks too but hopefully nobody comes up with COVID or else everything's going to be destroyed. So there's that. There's your MLB report. I'm so mad about Vegas. But it's going to be Dallas and whoever. Let me check out these NHL playoffs. Let me see what's going down. Oh, we got a 1-1 tie at the end of regulation. Hopefully the Lightning can take it home. That's what it's looking like. So this what we got. Hopefully, I guess we're looking at maybe a Dallas Stars, Tampa Bay. I don't see how Tampa Bay loses 3 straight. But it's happened a few times before. So don't get mad if it does. They've done it twice now. So I know y'all about your Cowboys. Like I said, I got their back. Trust me. I fully agree they got robbed. I'll have a breakdown of how that goes tomorrow. So make sure you sign on tomorrow. Ovatyme Sports Show, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock West Coast. What am I drinking? Oh, you forgot. You showed up late. So I got my Absolute Peach Vodka. Got a little bit of mango lemonade from a store called Publix. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it since you were in St. Louis. If not, it is the Southern Albertsons, which loves us so much. So there's that. That is part 1 of the show. Now, tomorrow, me, Big Sin, he joins us, comes on the show. We're going to talk. We're going to do a double duty tomorrow because we got to do our NFL rundown or NFL fallout, any NFL rundown. We got a Thursday game because we got to talk about everything that just went down. We're going to talk about how the Cowboys got robbed, screwed up officiating. We got to talk about how bad Tom Brady did. Got to talk about how bad my 49ers did. You on that Grey Goose? Hey, I can't. You a bigger ball than I am, bro. I'm broke. I'm saving my pennies, saving my little ducats. Oh, congrats! Oh, look at that. My man quit smoking. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. No more cigarettes. You can have a blunt or two. It's okay. You can have a blunt. It's fine. Just It's legal in Vegas. You good. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just no cigarettes because they kill. Blunt lives. Cigarettes die. Can't do that. Don't do cigarettes. All right. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Join us on the Ovatyme Sports Show. We do a big ass NFL show, which means that the show, the podcast, if you've gotten to this point, you got another 2 hours to go, guys. Let's do it. But anyways, this is your boy Hollywood J. Black signing off. I'm going to see you guys at 9 p.m., 6 p.m.s, depending on where you at. And then we out this thing. Deuces.